Good morning, it's MJ, and for Valentine's Day, I thought we'd take a look at the Ace of Cups. This is really, when I think about the Ace of Cups, where it all begins, right? This is where love begins. This is where you start to feel it in your heart. This is when you're able to express your emotions. You're able to feel this connection with other people in the world around you, and it's just such a beautiful emotion because it's not about lust, right? This is not about passion so much. It's more about intimacy and allowing yourself to be vulnerable and opening up yourself to those emotions that come from being truly in love with life. I mean, when you're in that state, when you can appreciate the beauty that is all around you, it's so much easier to extend outward, to open your heart up to other people. So let's take a look at the first card here, which is the Rider-Waite-Smith deck. And we see this hand coming through the cloud. And this is the universe's gift to you. It's the universe's gift to all of us. This feeling is transformative. It is what makes life worth living. When you feel love, I mean, even if it's not within, with a relationship, when you feel love for other people, when you feel love towards nature, for your pets, for life itself, I mean, it really just shifts your energy. It's such a high vibration that, I mean, there's a power there. I mean, isn't that what Robert Palmer saying, the power of love? Wait, was it Robert Palmer? All right, I think it was. That goes back to the days of the 80s. But anyway, when I think of the Ace of Cups, the first thing I think of is going for a walk in the woods and feeling completely and utterly connected with nature, and that love between me and the divine. And it's from that, it's like that is where then I can take that energy and then I can extend it to whoever I meet or whoever I encounter. It's rarely do I ever encounter somebody, by the way, when I'm hiking or if I'm on a trail, who's grumpy. I'm just going to say, most people when they're out in nature, they're really feeling that divine connection. And it's hard to be grumpy when you're connected to divine. So this is what I think of when I think of the Ace of Cups. We have here the dove, and the dove is flying inward with the wafer. For those of you, I grew up eating the little wafer. That was the best part of having to go to church when we were forced to go to church, was the snack. And my sister and I don't know what it was about those wafers, but they were tasty, without being tasty at the same time. So here we have this divine energy that's connecting with your emotion. The streams of water, you see, they're connected to the cup. So this is where your emotion connects to the outside world. We're all connected. Everything is connected, and it's through this power. We have the lilies down here, the lily pads and the flowers. And that is your ability to see the beauty and the purity of life. It's connecting with that essence that is just it's perfect in every way, right? I mean, it's just so beautiful. And when I think of lotus flowers, I think about their growth and how out of this muddy, murky, mucky muck of water, it's like this beautiful flower emerges up. And I mean, we kayak through the Arboretum a lot, and I just love going through the lotuses because it's all entangled, like under the surface of the water. It's dark, there's just lots of weeds, and then just sitting so delicately on that leaf is this lotus flower. And it really does remind you of how beautiful life is, at that moment. So here with the Ace of Cups with the Crow Tarot, instead of the dove, I used another crow. Recreated much of the same symbolism here, except this time it's this crow that's sitting and it's gazing into the cup. It's looking into its emotions. It's seeking to find an attachment to something greater than itself. When I think about this energy here with the Ace of Cups, with the Crow Tarot, my thought was like going outside, when you're really stressed out and you're just, life, you've got phone calls, you've got just maybe the kids are driving you nuts, and life is just one thing after another. And when you go outside, especially in the spring, and you smell the flowers, all of a sudden it's like you're whisked away from all the stresses and you are in that space with nature and with divine energy. And for some reason, I always feel like everything just is okay when I'm feeling that, when I'm in that moment. So when I created this card, that's what I had envisioned. I envisioned this crow waking up and starting off its day by connecting with nature and how that transforms all the events after that moment, right? So you're less likely to be cranky. You're more open to being patient. Perhaps you open your heart up to experiencing new situations. Perhaps that person who was bugging you like crazy yesterday in the office, when you're in this state of connectedness with divine energy, all of a sudden you realize, well, maybe that person had, some insight here that I was ignoring because I was just letting my feelings about who this person is shut them down. But when you're open-hearted, you're able to allow more experiences and you're able to allow more connections, and you allow this intimacy that you may not have before. It's like your intuition sort of kicks in and says, well, maybe I should listen, or maybe I should, maybe not just be so judgmental with this person, right? And so that's what I thought of here. And like the lotus flowers, it's the same symbolism here as far as purity, connecting with divine nature. I added the sun in the Crow Tarot, and the sun, is really just creating that sense of enlightenment, right? Light, feeling the warm rays of the sun can be so transformative in itself. You just feel connected to the universe when you're basking in the sun. And I just imagine like coming off of a cold, Pacific Northwest evening, and especially in the summer here, the evenings are pretty cold. It's like you can wear a sweater in the evening all the way up throughout summer here. Sometimes you need a sweater. And I just imagined this crow waking up in the cool morning and then the warm sun coming up and just sort of lifting its spirit and feeling that sense of energy that comes from the sun. And when it's connected here with this cup, it's just so powerful, so overwhelming, to the spirit. And it just puts you just in a good space. You're ready to start the day on the right foot. So here for the Ace of Cups for the wise dog, we have this beautiful dog, Zeus. And Zeus stumbled upon the land of Reverend Michael Neal, and his just beautiful, just spirit beautiful, everything about her beautiful, Stephanie Neal. And this dog, from what I understand, showed up one day, and then it just kept coming back. And Michael and Stephanie decided to, bring Zeus in and adopt Zeus. And it was just this big, beautiful, just white dog that was just this presence, in their world, and was just a love, right? I mean, like this dog came in for a reason. So when I thought about the Ace of Cups, I knew I had to have Zeus as the Ace of Cups. And again, here we have the cup with the overflowing water. That's that connection. I have a lovebird here. People have asked, like, what kind of bird is that? That's a lovebird. And it's just, it's another symbol for love. We have the lotus for purity, and we have the dove up here. And I have the sun and this halo above Zeus's head. And this is that love that you feel, that connection when you're with an animal and they come into your life for a reason. They open your heart up for a reason. They create attachments with us, right? And so that's what I thought of, is like how we may be maybe prickly towards people, sometimes, but animals have this way of reaching in and making sure that our heart doesn't stay small, They have this way of just expressing their love to us, and in return, it almost commands that we give it back. And so that's what I thought of here with this Ace of Cups. And then we have the water, and very similar. I mean, if you look at, all the basic imagery here, we have the cup. I did add these little forget-me-nots, and I added that in And this may make me cry. So bear with me here. The forget-me-nots or because animals do pass, and to not forget the love that they gave us, even when they're not with us at that moment. Oh my God, bear with me. Okay, pull it together, MJ. So the Ace of Cups for the wise dog here is the love they give us. It never goes away, and it still lives, it still runs through our veins. And when we need it, when we need to call upon that energy to help us through a difficult situation, that's when the Ace of Cups is going to come up. So even if your dog or your cat or your partner or whoever crosses over, they're always with you. Okay, so, all right. Now, the Ace of Cups for the Grimalkin is, my story here with this one was this cat is connecting with that water. It's connecting with its energy. It's going inward. This is a little bit more about intuition. It's about using that, that feeling that we get, again, like going out into nature to open ourselves up to the information, to let that information come in through the heart. You know, not so much through the mind, but through the heart. How do you feel during a situation? Do you feel that connection with somebody? You know, when you meet somebody for the first time, are you just all of a sudden Twitter-pated? You know, it's like, do you get this feeling like, oh my God, I've known you forever, right? It's that connection to your higher self that the Ace of Cups brings here with the Grimalkin deck. That is just, it becomes an emotional force of nature, you know, where you're feeling that love, and you might not necessarily be able to pinpoint how it is, but you're in this state of being and you know it. And so that's with the Grimalkin deck. We have the butterfly here sitting on the cup, and again we have the streams of water. That is that connection between your emotions, you know, how you interact with the world. It's all connected. How you feel towards events, it all comes back. So, you know, it's about extending that love. It's about extending an open heart to others. This butterfly is to represent a maturity, in a sense, that you get, you know, when you are able to let go of perhaps prejudices and open yourself up, allow some vulnerability and some intimacy between you and other people, or within a situation where you're less closed off. You know, you're not so much concerned about putting up shields to protect yourself, because your heart is so full that it protects you in so many ways. And so here we have this little cat just sort of hanging out in the garden. And, you know, to me, I was thinking, like, you know, just having this beautiful space where everybody comes together and just relaxes and enjoys nature. The daffodils represent, in all my decks, daffodils are new beginnings, fresh starts. So it could be a fresh start with a new partner. It could be a fresh start with meeting somebody who you connect with, you know, on a almost like a visceral level, where you're just like, I've known you my entire lifetime and more. And we have the white dove here. So very similar. The dove, and you know, harkens back to the Ace of Cups with the Rider-Waite-Smith deck. Again, divinity, divine energy, nature, that that source energy that we are all given as a gift, right? That's a gift from the universe. So, yeah, this is just a different take. You know, again, when you look at the Ace of Cups, with the Crow Tarot, it's about you really changing your, your, not necessarily like your attitude, but it's like moving into a space that is one that is open-hearted, and how that impacts your day. And when you extend love outward, you know, it needs to come from within first, and cultivating that feeling. With the wise dog, it's really about allowing that love to transform your actions, and to help you heal perhaps, or to feel connected, even if whoever or whatever, even if the situation has passed on, there's that love, that bond is still there, and the energy is right to use it to help perhaps heal, or to solve a problem, or to help somebody else, right? I mean, that's the ultimate gift, when you can help someone else. And then the Ace of Cups for the Grimalkin Tarot, it's about using that intuition and allowing your heart to open up to new experiences, and letting go of the need to keep your heart protected. When you break down that shield, new experiences, new beginnings can emerge. So much love to you on Valentine's Day, and I will see you hopefully tomorrow. Peace.